Hi guys, Sarah Navarro here, and I will be showing you how to make my favorite all-time go-to green berry bliss smoothie. It's a green smoothie, meaning it has vegetables in it or leafy greens. So, what I actually did was I did the first half of the smoothie simply because it's a little bit time consuming and I didn't want a third of this video to be me blending stuff. So, I'm going to tell you what I did, however. So I have my blender here. It's just a regular blender. It's 30 bucks at Target. It's one that works. It's nothing fancy. If you have a fancy blender, that's okay too. Just something that's clean and works and is handy and available to you. So with that being said, I took my blender, I cleaned it, and I got my ingredients together. Now, as you can see, I have the green portion of the smoothie already made. In the green portion of the smoothie, what I wanted to do was put the easiest blendable ingredients together first, because when you start adding the frozen components of the smoothie, it starts to get more thick the more you add stuff in, and the harder it becomes to blend. So if you start with a bunch of frozen stuff, you're going to have a heck of a hard time getting the smoothie made in a timely manner, which is my goal and my point. It's easy to make, it's healthy, and it's something quick. You can eat it for breakfast, you can eat it for a snack, or you can make it and save it for later. It's easily storable in the refrigerator for up to 24 hours in a mason jar or something that can be sealed off. So what I did was I added 8 ounces of RO water, and I added 1 cup of just store-bought refrigerator section baby spinach. I got this at Albertsons. It's really cheap. It was about 2 bucks. I think I used about maybe a fourth or a fifth of the bag, so it didn't call for much. So I got a handful, and I measured out about a cup in my little measurer here. After that, I added a tablespoon of agave light syrup. I like this better than honey because of the consistency of it. Honey's a little bit too thick for me, and I think it's a little bit too sweet. This is not as sweet, and it's really kind of liquidy. So with that being said, you can also, if you're allergic to something or you really don't like something that I'm adding in here, you can easily substitute it out, just like I did with the honey for the agave. And or you can take a fruit out and add another fruit in, or add more of one fruit, or it's up to you. It just depends on the person. Next, I added half a teaspoon of just regular ground cayenne pepper. Now, you want to be really careful with this stuff. If you're sensitive to heat, I would recommend a fourth of a teaspoon or maybe an eighth of a teaspoon. I personally love spicy food. I can eat jalapenos, habanero peppers, or cayenne pepper all day, and it doesn't really bug me. So I can add as much as I want, but it just depends on the person. So what I did was I added those ingredients along with half of a banana, and I blended it for about 30 seconds on a medium-high speed until I got this really liquid consistency. See how liquidy it is? So after that, I'm now going to finish with the second part of the smoothie, which is the frozen parts. I just went to Albertsons and I got bags of the different frozen fruits. This is whole strawberries. They're unsweetened. So I got whole strawberries, whole raspberries, and whole blueberries. I'm going to use 3/4 of a cup of strawberries. And I'm just going to add about, I'll probably add all of it. You really have to just kind of keep an eye on it. You don't want it to get too thick, because the thicker it gets, the more water or stirring you have to do, and the more time it takes, and the larger volume you will get at the end. So I'm going to add that. I put the lid on, and I'm going to start blending. Now, before I begin the last part of this, I'm going to start blending, and I'm going to keep blending, okay? What I'm going to do is I'm going to put it on the lowest setting possible on my blender, and I'm going to make sure it's not splattering everywhere before I start adding the other ingredients. And I'm just going to ever so slightly start adding, after my strawberries have blended, the raspberries and blueberries, keeping in mind that it's not too thick. Okay, so okay, so I got all of my fruits in, which was the banana first, then I added, with the green part, then I added frozen strawberries, frozen blueberries, and frozen raspberries. I added 3/4 cup of strawberries, 1/3 cup of blueberries, and 1/3 cup of raspberries. And what I have now is a pretty thick, but not too thick consistency. And I still see some chunks floating around, so I'm going to go ahead and put the blender back on its base, and I'm going to blend for probably about 5 to 10 more seconds on a medium setting instead of low. Okay, perfect. So I have my smoothie. And what I want to do is I want to pour it in a glass. And as you can see, the color is brownish, dark red on here. It's not green at all. It's only called really a green smoothie because of the vegetables you're adding or the leafy greens that you're adding. Now, some recipes do actually make the smoothie really green because they call for a lot of green vegetables and even green fruits. But this one's just really easy. It's simple. It doesn't have that much vegetables, but it's easy to add into someone's diet, especially if you're not a vegetable lover. I make it for my dad. He personally doesn't really like vegetables, so he likes sweet stuff, so I make him this, and he gets the sweetness that covers up the green stuff. So I hope you enjoy it, and feel free to experiment and be creative with your own green smoothie. Thank you.